Welcome everyone. It's that time of the week again. It's midweek chats with myself and the one they call Master Lee. Let's invite him in. Greetings and salutations, Master Lee.
Salutations.
How you doing? All right?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yeah.
So, what a show we had on Friday night. I think we probably need to start by addressing what happened last week, because we really had quite an epic call-in, 7-hour, 20-minute show, and it was quite emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah, very touching. But very good.
Yeah, very good. We had callers from 3 different continents, from the UK, from Canada, and from the US. A couple of callers from the US.
Yeah.
For this very reason, right, we're going to be repeating that this week. We're going to have the tipping point part 2, and we are going to be accepting call-ins from absolutely anybody. And like we said last week, we really want to get someone from the other side of the ideological divide, shall we say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great.
Now, what's happened to me this week? Been deleted. Obviously not this station, not Rise Above Live, but the original station, Double LMC, my original page with my music, etc. on, has been fully deleted for medical misinformation and cyberbullying and hate speech. Believe it or not. So, yeah.
AKA the truth.
Yeah, AKA telling the truth. What's the old saying? In times of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act, as we are fast seeing each and every week. So, to everyone that's looking for my videos, they won't be found on YouTube at the moment. Everything has been backed up on Odyssey at Rise Above. Going forward, we're going to have to occult the language, aren't we?
Yeah, well, you can see they're trying to eradicate the first principles, especially of your work that you've been doing. That's a very important point.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying to you right now. If I was to be having a debate with somebody, and they're saying, "How are you coming up with these crazy ideas?" Well, I say, "Well, actually, I've been laying these out for a year. Here's a document of what I was saying this time last year."
Yeah.
But now, right? Okay, some of those videos are uploaded in different places. They don't have the gravitas of the views. They don't have the gravitas of the date they were uploaded, and they don't have any of the comments and any of the interaction. So yeah, my first principles have actually been attacked. You're absolutely right, and I put a lot of work in last year in really trying to. I suppose you could actually say I was just searching out the first principles of like, what the hell is going on with
you did a very good job. You did a very good job of that.
Thank you. I tried my best. I think I got to like episode 13 or 14 of Coviet 1984. All the different aspects. ID 2020. The falsification of the death tally. Got to be careful here. Yeah, that's all gone. And the funny thing is, on brand YouTube, all of my videos got deleted on there as well. But this actually happened a couple of weeks before. And do you know what the only one they left was? It was the most controversial one of all time. It was actually the one about the Dave's ice cream virus and the Ike protein. It was the original one that got me banned. Yeah. So really, no idea what was going on there.
It's probably the algorithms. I mean, have you investigated the process of being deleted?
Well, I've looked into all of the guidelines about what is acceptable and what's not, and how often they change. Now, they say they have teams of moderators and they have an algorithm. The thing was that the last 3 videos that got me the final strikes, they were all from last year. They've been there the whole time. So if what we think about the way an algorithm works is correct, that it has the ability to sort of be omnipotent, searching through vast libraries of data at once, then these videos should have been flagged up ages ago.
Yeah.
They've been there. They haven't gone anywhere. The fact was, I probably had enough stuff on there to get me deleted 10 times over if they wanted to apply it to every video. And it seems like I think it was targeted at this particular time. I don't think the algorithm has just suddenly realised there's X amount of videos from last year.
Well, they can scan videos. I believe it's something like 1 hour of a video they can scan in seconds.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
That's quite incredible.
Yeah.
And then they can take everything they need from it
Yeah.
That's quite scary.
Well, it's the agents of the denying force. They're trying to act as rulers,
Yep.
For the denying force, and they're trying to keep a balance in check.
Yeah. So, in one sense, I do feel like it's back to the drawing board. But then I have to think, well, a lot of people have said that this is quite overdue, that all those videos got deleted because
Sure. Yeah.
maybe I was on borrowed time.
Yeah. Well, on my channel, the Inner Guardians, which actually started in 2019, I've laid a lot of the first principles. In February, January, February, March, April, I did quite a few videos, and then I didn't do many more. And that was primarily because I'd laid down the first principles. I recommend anybody just keep going over them, and you'll find things that are relevant now, here and today, way back over a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's the truth, so it will stand the test of time. Now, I've been very careful not to get the algorithms involved with my videos. I gave the gist of things, and I actually did do a video where I was explaining that I talk in the gist for that reason.
Yeah.
And I did stay away. I did actually say that I would stay away from certain subjects or words, but it gives the gist of my thoughts.
And like you say, when we're dealing with these plethora of subjects that's very multi-layered, and it spans across so many different disciplines, often enough times to get bogged down in the detail can actually be a little bit counterproductive. So that's why we talk about the gist.
Yeah.
It's something you slipped into the language quite sort of subversively a couple of months ago. Yeah, he got the gist of it. And then you've sort of really expanded it, and you've sort of opened up as to why the gist is so important to the syncretist, basically.
Yeah, because if you're not careful, you can just get stuck going down different rabbit holes, when really what you need to do is just get the gist or the sentiment or the meaning of the knowledge.
So would you say that my concept of the whole rabbit is actually sort of gististic?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
So we do need to get a spreadsheet or a translator of certain keywords moving forward.
We'll get Magix to develop an app. I think that's going to be the only way going forward. We'll have to develop an app that sort of you type in a word and it comes out with the Aborigine translation. I think that's the way forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other thing that's important to understand is that the things that we say, we don't actually want to be true. I actually hope I'm completely wrong.
Me too.
But I'm looking at things objectively with objective reason, and I can when I hope that I'm wrong, it usually means that I'm right.
Yeah.
Without sounding too pessimistic.
Yeah. I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling. Yeah, and this week, I mean, so much has happened this week already. Like, everything seems to be. I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but they've turned up the notch again. The spearing rhetoric has gone through the roof. What's the new Delta Plus variant today?
Yeah. They've added the plus. Yeah,
they've added the plus. I've seen the hay fever post about how now Coviot particles can travel up to 60 meters or 60 feet on pollen, which is frankly quite fantastic. I think that's an amazing scientific discovery.
Well, I think that's to back up the lockdowns.
Yeah, it's
possibly to come.
Well, it's to provide a bit of fuel to the fire for the Delta Plus. It's to carry the Delta Plus past the 2 meters, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're dealing with different parameters here and different lots of different numbers. Special double number getting thrown around a lot. You had a good one today, didn't you? You had quite an interesting experience in.
Well, yeah, it's actually connected to what it's connected to what we're just talking about with regards to. I was just about to say that this hay fever thing could be a justification for muzzling up outdoors, which seems to be very important for them to maintain this the illusion of whatever they're claiming. So I was in the park today, like most days, with my dogs, and Which picture do you want me to talk about?
Well, I mean, what you there's two aspects to this story. You came across a couple of people that you had quite an interesting conversation with on the bench, and
Yeah,
then these two people that I'm showing on the screen right now suddenly walk past, so everyone can see this picture that you took. And just let's just be clear, you did ask these gentlemen if it's okay
yeah,
for
yeah.
them to feature on Rise Above, and they were both happy about this. You said, we're going to feature you on the podcast.
Yeah, I did say to them, look, you wouldn't be doing this job if you didn't like attention, and they agreed with that. And they said, look, we've been on far worse. We've been on Twitter. That's what they said.
Oh, what, like people just filming them and putting them on Twitter and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. So they're used to it. They did actually mention that somebody altered the picture or video of them and put porn on their screens, which they
Oh
weren't
my
too pleased
God.
with. And I promised them that we wouldn't do that. I said, at worst, we might put Rise Above logos on.
Oh yeah, I mean for Friday, I'm going to get Magix to put some Rise Above logos in there. We might make some sort of meme out of them, but it won't be. We won't put any porn there. It won't be malicious.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I'll go back to what happened. So, yeah, I was walking along with my dogs and my wife, and I saw two ladies. One had a T-shirt on, and on the back it said World War III and technocracy.
Ooh, juicy.
So it caught my attention, and as I walked past, I thought, well, I've got to say something. And she kind of looked over, and I said, "Oh, I'm just admiring your T-shirt." And she jumped up. She said, "You're awake." I says, "Well, yeah, relatively speaking, yeah." And then we just got chatting.
Little did she know. Wow,
And
you're awake.
no, she was so happy. Or both of them were so happy, and we had quite a long conversation. It was only meant to be 5 minutes, but I think we were there for about an hour, chatting away about all kinds of things, as you can imagine.
As you do, yeah. When you
Yeah,
meet someone that's stepped across the Rubicon, also.
yeah. They said they're going to watch on Friday. Now, I'm going to keep their identities concealed because they didn't sort of tell me to say anything about anything in particular. So it's only fair that
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
on Friday they might even phone in. You never know.
I'd love them to phone in on Friday. That'd be great.
Yeah, but it turns out that they're both ex-nurses.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
and one of them quit on Monday, I believe. And yeah, they've basically had enough of everything that's going on. They've obviously seen everything firsthand, and they know quite a lot about the procedures. And because of their knowledge and their common sense, and they said they've been looking at this stuff for years now. I think I think they said most of their life, but specifically maybe 5 years, 5 or 6 years. They've been looking into what's really going on, and they've both quit.
Wow.
And
Based on what's happening.
yeah, and they're doing activism, like walking around the park, talking to people,
Okay.
and yeah,
Sound like our type of gals, mate.
yeah. It was actually really good. It was very sort of refreshing to see like-minded people
That's brilliant.
from both sides. Me and my wife were happy, and they were very happy, and I'm sure they're going to tune in on Friday to watch Rise Above.
So
And hopefully, you never know, they might phone in.
I hope they do. It sounds like you both had some good impressions from the meeting.
Yeah,
You took
yeah,
something
very
positive
good.
away from it. On that
Yeah, definitely.
subject, there's a certain individual who's been really making waves on Facebook with his campaign against the Soviet Union. A gentleman goes by the name of Mark Sexton. I'm sure
Yeah,
you're aware of him.
oh, definitely is.
If Mark is quite big on Facebook. If you're watching now, we're friends on Facebook. I've been sharing his work. I've been commenting a lot. This guy's an ex-policeman, and he is literally taking the Soviet Union to task. He's going
Yeah,
into different police stations every day, reporting the crimes of MPs, of Public Health England, of Handjob, the lot. He's really doing
yeah.
the lot, and he's doing it proper. So I've already reached out to Mark Sexton today. I've said, Mark, I am a massive fan of what you're doing. I myself have also been speaking out. I have assembled a formidable team, and we are presenting our findings every Friday, and we would love you to join us. And I sent him a link to last week's show. So I haven't heard back from him yet. He hasn't seen the messages yet. But if
I'm
anyone
pretty
is,
sure he gets a lot of messages.
I know, I bet he does. His posts are getting 1,000 shares. That's the guy's smashing it. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's got a very big reach. So yeah,
Well, he's
massive.
laying down statements of fact, statements of truth, which is the same as first principles. He's actually delivering first principles directly to the police, which is what they need, and it should have been done a long time ago. I'm really surprised that it's not been more prevalent amongst police, serving police and ex-police. Although I can
Yeah.
understand the sort of hierarchical pressure and wanting to retain a pension could have a lot to do with it.
Well, he seems to be an honourable man. That
Yeah.
he's putting the good of the country, of the youth, of his peers first. So we applaud Mark Sexton, and if anyone that's watching knows Mark, please share this with him. I'd like him to see it, and we are going to do our best to get Mark on the show, and we're going to try our best to make that happen. I think that would be a brilliant chat. Saying that, we will have to give him a proper briefing about what he can and can't say, because he's obviously, he's going to have a lot of stuff to tell you about to tell us about, the ins and outs of what he's found. So we will have to brief him to use specific code words.
Well, he's obviously using the skills that he obtained through his service in the police, doing investigations and so on and so forth. I don't know if he was a detective or what, but he seems pretty well clued up, and he's very eloquent in presenting the statement of facts. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it's exactly what we need at a time like this. We need more people like him to start putting thought into action.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say I'm not entirely convinced that protesting is actually there's actually any point in doing it anymore. I think we're a little bit past that now, and we've mentioned this before. We've played around with this topic about. Is anything being achieved by asking for your rights back? A crime has been committed at the end of the day, and
Sure.
and like you've said before, even if everything goes back to normal, who's going to be accountable for what's already happened?
Yeah. Well, I've given it a lot of thought, and my take on it is that potentially we need to do everything. We need a full spectrum cover, which would include protests, but I don't really like the word protest so much. I don't think that's the best word to use. It's more of a show, it's literally a physical show, and it offers inspiration to others that they're not alone. Similar today when we bumped into the two ladies.
Yeah.
It's very empowering to meet other people that are on the same page, so to speak.
It literally it energizes you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've had those meetings, those random meetings with someone when I went to the bank, and I do the banking for my business once a week. Going to Lloyd's Bank, and everyone's wearing a mask, and I'm the only non-masked person. And there's this one young lady behind the desk, and she sees me going to her, and I've already chosen her to be my clerk because I've already clocked that she's made eye contact with me, and her face lit up when she saw I didn't have a mask, and I could see when there's one person in front of me, she was bursting to speak to me.
Yeah.
And when I got there, she's like, first thing she said, "Are you going to take it?" I said, "Not in a million years." And when I said that, she actually exploded with emotion. It was quite touching. She she put her stuff down. She almost she sort of turned the computer monitor away, and she's like, "Oh," and she pulled it to one side and she started speaking to me.
Yeah.
She was from another part of Europe, and she was being blackmailed into she wouldn't be able to go home and see her family again unless she had the procedure. And I said, "Look, you know what the truth is," and she knew. And I said, "Look, just don't ever let anybody bully you. Don't let anybody strong arm you. Don't let anybody coerce you into thinking you have to take that procedure because you don't." And I could tell that she was so thankful. And she actually walked to the side, and I was making sure that I was very loud and everyone could hear what I was saying. She was trying to be quiet, but I was just saying to her, and quite casually about my analysis of what's going on, what this all really is.
Yeah.
People were like, "Whoa!" But for a moment, I could tell for her it was only me and her. The rest of the bank just dissolved, and she had a chance to speak to someone about it.
Yeah.
And I could see it in her eyes. She almost teared up, and it almost made me tear up as well. She's like, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "Give me a pen and paper." And I gave her some rise above details. I can't remember the girl's name. If she ever watches, that would really make my day if you got in contact with me and you're still watching, and to know you still haven't taken it.
I need to get some Rise Above stickers or cards.
Yeah, mate, I've been so
today
slack.
it would have been so handy today.
Yeah, I've been
because
so slackly with the merch review, mate, because I can't keep hold of it. It just goes out so fast. Still haven't got you a T-shirt. I'm sure I've got a larger and extra large over there. There was only about 6 left. I will get one to you.
yeah, that's okay.
Oh yeah, we
Well,
need to get more QR code stickers as well.
yeah, going back to that story today in the park. Well, we had an amazing conversation for around about 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden, the denying force appears in the form of 2 young guys carrying these, I don't know, teleprompters. I don't know what you call them. These shoulder screens displaying propaganda, telling people to keep distance, wear a mask, blah, 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 blah. And they suddenly appeared. Literally, it was like they were sent by the denying force. You couldn't make it up. Yeah.
There was too much positivity and anti-COVIDism going on in this spot. Deploy the bots.
Yeah, it was actually my dogs that spotted them first, because they're obviously a bit of a odd appearance.
Yeah.
So my dogs actually picked up on them first, and yeah, so they were carrying these bags and they were giving out. Am I allowed to say masks? Also say muzzles.
We're not even allowed to say masks. Holy shit! So,
okay, so
yeah, go on.
They were walking around with these bags, giving out muzzles for people to wear. Now, when I asked them, what are they doing? They said, we're giving out masks for free. And I said, but you're not wearing masks yourself. And they said, well, we're outdoors. And I said, well, don't you think that's a bit of a contradiction? There's a bit of a contradiction. You're walking around a park offering free muzzles to people to wear in a park, and you're not wearing them yourself. And I said, do you really believe in what you're doing? And they said, well, one of them said yes, and the other one said, well, it's a job. It's just a job. So I had a bit of a conversation with them. I'm not going to go into all the detail of the conversation because it was quite long, maybe 30 minutes long. Wow. But it was kind of like one was really into it and one was kind of on the fence. And they're only young. I think I would say, I don't want to offend them, but I think they weren't no more than 25 years old.
Let's have a look. I'd say the gent on the left looks a bit older than the guy. The guy on the right looks a bit older than the guy on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, early 20s.
Yeah. To be fair, they were very, very friendly. Obviously, they're employed to talk to people, so they're very sociable. And, I can't fault them for that. However, they did seem a bit naive and green to what they're actually doing, or the implications. Now, the 2 ladies that were there as well, they really wanted to lay into them, like in terms of truth bombing them and red pilling them. And
yeah, the red pill machine gun.
I did actually say, look, we should just ask them like one question at a time, because they were being a bit outnumbered, because it was like 4 to 2. And I don't think they were used to that.
They had augmentations. They're augmented humans. They've got like some sort of like bot thing, so they had an advantage over you in a fight.
Yeah. And as we were talking, a gentleman walked past and they offered him a muzzle, and he actually said no. He kind of quickly moved away from them, which I thought was quite good.
Yep, we like that.
Yeah, so that's very good. But actually, they did explain something to me that is a little bit dark and sinister, right? These screens. Oh, sorry. The ladies are very concerned that they're walking around filming, because they were saying that they got cameras on these screens. Now, the 2 guys reassured us that there's no cameras on them, but what they do have is they can scan the faces, and what their job is to do is to scan who's seen them. And it's
wait a minute, wait, hold on. How can you scan a face without a camera?
They said it's not like video footage, but the council,
just a facial recognition camera.
Facial recognition, yeah. The council's compiling anybody that's looked at the screens.
Mate, they admitted that to you.
Yeah. They said that's what their job is for.
What?
To do that.
They said that's what their job is for, to capture people's faces. Maybe it's to capture your data, like your reaction to being offered the muzzle.
No, I think they just say that they seem to insinuate that they're just scanning faces, and they've got the technology without a photograph or video that they can actually do facial recognition using these monitors or whatever. I'm not sure.
Why don't we have a robot doing this? if they've got the technology to have a face monitor hidden in those screens that's scanning everyone's faces, it seems a little bit archaic that they've actually got a meat sack walking around with that underneath it. Why don't they just have a robot? I
Well, I
suppose
think
that's
there's
the
I
next
think
thing, isn't it?
I think there's more to it because I think it's to do with the reaction. I think
Okay.
that's yeah. I think that's
You
what
think
it's.
maybe that's part of the experiment, or that's something to do with what they might be trying to capture?
Yeah, I think they want to see who's kind of pro and who's anti. I don't like to use the word anti, but we'll speak in their terms.
Sometimes we need to make sure we know what we're quantifying. Wow, we've got 91 people tuned into the midweek chat. Holy shit. Maybe we've got some other people that have watched this on Facebook and think, wait a minute, they're not saying what everyone else is saying about what's going on. I might want to listen. For anyone that's new, this is Rise Above, and this is just our little midweek chat. We go in full rabbit on Friday nights. We did 7 hours 20 minutes last week. We're going to try and keep it a little bit shorter this week, but it's call in. You can see Rise Above livestream at gmail.com at the bottom. That is our Skype. Don't call in now, but on Friday night, everyone is invited to call in, especially people that don't agree with us, that do agree with lockdowns, that do agree that COVID 1984 is the most deadly thing since Spanish flu, people that do think it's worth shutting down the world for what's going on. We'd love to hear from those people, and they will be treated with the utmost respect, as long as they don't call me a charlatan or anything like that. That's something
And maybe the two Teletubbies can phone in and they can give a good explanation as to what it is they're doing better than what.
I would love to hear from one of these guys. They are welcome to call in.
Yeah, I told them to watch on Friday because I said they'll definitely be on it. So you never know.
Sweet. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll do it. We'll do half an hour for this midweek chat, Lee, because we like to keep it short and sweet. Remember, this is a warm up for what comes on Friday. It's called the Tipping Point Part 2. Last week was epic. We heard from probably about 8 to 9 people from 3 different continents. Europe. Oh no, 2 different continents. Europe and 3, because we're not in Europe anymore, are we? Europe, the British Isles, and North America. And we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your experiences about living through what's going on. Have you experienced the contradiction? Have you not seen any contradictions? Are you wondering why this show even exists? Do you think we're spouting disinformation? We would love to hear from someone on the other side of the ideological bridge, because we want to try and bridge the gap. That's what Rise Above is all about at the end of the day.
Yep.
Okay, so I think this has been a great midweek chat. We are going to carry on doing this each and every Wednesday night. So I'm going to thank Inner Guardians once again for joining us, and we will see you guys at 7:30 on Friday. Rise Above.
Rise Above.